Hello, everyone. I'm Brahm Mithra. I'm once again joined by Jay. Hello, Jay.
There's so many minis.
Yes, we did get a lot of minis this time for the store. So we're talking about the January Lunar New Year shop uh, updates. Quite quick deliveries this time. Quite quick.
It was
Last
like,
month,
what, a week?
yeah, last month we didn't get them almost to the end of the month. I think. Well, like half 20 days or something like that. Um,
It's encouraging. It's
Yeah,
encouraging.
it was because of the holiday break and all that. They didn't come back right away in January. But here we are. We're going to talk about. Let's talk about the minis because there was a lot of cool minis. Talk about the best mini that probably since Death High Alistair.
Right. Yeah, definitely the best painter scale, but
Oh,
besides Death
yeah,
Eye Alistair.
easy. I think so too. That is the Twilight Knight. Kingslayer. No, was it
King's
Kingslayer Twilight Knight?
Kingslayer Twilight
That's it.
painter
Yeah,
scale.
sick.
Yeah, she's awesome. It's not Allison. It's just a different female Twilight Knight with white hair, but she's so cool.
Yeah. Is it not Allison? I didn't look to see the birthmark. She not have her birthmark?
It's not Allison, no.
Oh, okay.
Different hair, no birthmark.
Yeah, normally you can tell from the birthmark under her eye. So yeah, sick. That means super cool. Then we also
Sick.
got the other mini was Entrobra. Cool.
It's just a photo resin with no content.
Yeah, no
It's
no
whatever.
beta.
Not to my tastes as far as mini goes, and there's no game content. Uh,
Yeah, she
it's
looks cool though. I like the base.
uh,
The stone
eh.
face base looks neat. I
Oh,
like
you know
stone face
what? It's
bases.
upside down because she's hanging. No, she's not hanging upside down because her stuff is. Nah, it's fine.
Yep.
Anyway, she's got like predator dreads.
Yep. I think she's pretty cool looking. I like her two weapons. I think she's pretty cool looking. Then we got our content releases, which we have one beta and three white boxes.
Start with the Zelda.
Yes, we will start with Zelda, the first white box.
Since Zelda found the gleaming dagger, she has been different, swatting at non-existent buzzing and describing a tickle in her brain. While others aren't looking, she organizes mundane objects around the settlement into patterns or simply vanishes for entire lantern years at a time. Her fellow survivors have urged her to ditch the well-crafted weapon, but she staunchly refuses.
Yes, which is. So she includes a gear card and a basic hunt event. We shall start with the basic hunt event, because the basic hunt event gives the flavor and theme of the weapon. Then we'll talk about the weapon.
Yeah.
So the basic
Okay,
hunt event is
so
Golden Dagger, which is you spot a gleam nestled between two disfigured corpses, shining blade hued with colors that your retinas have never digested. Without hesitation, you make a dive for it. Roll 1d10. This is interesting because it is not a investigate table. It is not a
or
nominate.
nominating anybody.
Yeah. So no nothing. This is just a direct event revealer roll. So you need to be aware of who you're drawing these with, which can be an
And I
issue.
usually try to keep track of that anyway.
Yeah, but you'll have to, when we talk about the weapon, you'll see why you have to be aware of this. So then you roll 1d10, 1 or 2, crest the ornate weapon, lost in its splendor, and oblivious to the jealous gazes of your peers. By the time you realize that your companions have surrounded you, it is too late. Dead. The survivor with the highest insanity left gains the obsession rare gear. 3 of 5. In your excitement, you knock the weapon skittering into an open stone mouth that promptly closes up with a smirk. Gain 10 insanity. 6 plus. Before anyone else notices, you snatch up the dagger and stow it. The handle's intricate pattern grooves fit fit perfectly in your hand. No one else may know. Gain the secret disorder and the obsession rare gear. So, as you can see, the 1 and 2 result in, or the 1 and 2 and the 6 plus result in you getting the gear. So it's very likely you will get the gear. It's like 70% chance. pretty good.
You just might lose someone in the process.
Yeah, the 1 or 2, someone's going to die. The issue with this is nowhere when I was reading this does it say that the hunt event removes itself.
So you get multiple of these daggers because they're not unique.
That's true. You can get multiple daggers because they're not unique. Rare gear is not limited to just the one. So you can get as many as you want, which is cool. It's hard to do that, but it is cool. Now, this is a basic hunt event card, so the fewer of these you use, the more likely you are to have this event that you're looking for.
Yes. Other basic hunt event cards that aren't just the roll 1d100s would include the Ark Survivor hunt events, the Scout hunt events, Percival's hunt event, Baby and the Sword.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of these now. So there's Lonely Tree.
Encounters.
Yeah. Lonely Tree does it. This now does it. The other lunar year, the fish one does it. Fade does it. Percival does it. Technically, Elgnurk. Technically, she's not a card that's added to the deck, but Elgnurk's basically a random hunt event. And then you get the Ark Survivors, Scout events, encounters. But those all remove basic hunt event cards. Basic hunt event cards do not remove other basic hunt event cards. So,
those two. I didn't know that.
The interesting thing here is the rare gear itself. So now we'll talk about why you want to be kind of aware of how it works before you start rolling into that thing. So Obsession is really good. It's really good. Even by itself, it's really good. Even if you don't activate it. So Obsession's 3 speed, hits on a 6+, it's a dagger with 3 strength. That's really good. That's a really good dagger, just in general, just as dagger stats go. Especially for something you can just wander into.
Well, I mean, I suppose that's the point because it's an early game survivor with an early game really good gear. So that at least makes sense from a flavor perspective.
Yeah, I mean, you could just wander into this year like 1. This could be your basic hunt event draw.
Which I'm fine with that. I don't think it's.
Oh no,
crazy.
It's good. This is really good. The only thing that's difficult to manage is the fact it's sentient. That's kind of a little annoying. Had to be insane to activate it. The other thing is it's selfish. Selfish is a gear keyword that's not used very often. But it means that you can't have other gear.
You cannot have gear besides this gear that has the other keyword.
Yeah. So that's why the basic hunt event, if the event revealer has other gear, they won't be able to gain this, or you'll have to toss your other gear, your other gear. But now the interesting puzzle to activating this, and I think this is a really interesting little thing. I know when it first...
It's definitely neat.
Yeah, when it first came out, like on the shop even, before people even got their things, people were talking about it, because you could read this one in the shop. And this is, while you have 8 or more pieces of gear in your gear grid that share the same keyword, this gains Deadly 3. So it doesn't need to share keywords with Obsession. It can, but it doesn't need to. So if you do happen to share one with Obsession, then you only need 7 other gear. But if it doesn't share with Obsession, then you'll need 8.
Yeah. Like, realistically, you'd only be able to do that with metal, unless you want to carry around, 8 daggers.
Yeah, you could 8 dagger it. There's that knowledge, right? I forget which knowledge it is, but there's the knowledge for having, the dagger... I forget what it... Or for weapons, where you have, nothing but weapons in your gear grid. 8 hands or something? I forget what it's called.
If you want to do, mirror eyes, then you can do, 3 pairs of paired daggers with this in the middle.
Yeah. So you could do it. You could bring out 8 daggers. Could be fun.
I'm not saying it's optimal, but I am saying it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. That's why this one's neat. I really like this one. This was just fun to play with. It's got a cool thing that lends itself to doing fun things. I enjoy gear that has fun builds rather than blatantly obvious.
Yes.
But yeah, the easiest way to do this is metal. Do it with Lantern, Dragon King. What else is metal? Phoenix. Yeah, you can do it with Phoenix. The other interesting one that you can do that doesn't match Obsession would be do it with item. Then you can do like rolling armor, or you can just do a bunch of items. There's a bunch of accessories that are just items.
Are other daggers items? Because now I'm thinking.
I think there might be one dagger that is an item. I can't remember, but there might be. But yeah, I think this is very neat. I think Zelda was a lot of fun. It's fun to play with stuff like this. The basic hunt event, I would play it where you would move it from the deck. It doesn't say to do that, but I would never leave this in there. It's a very bad hunt event if you leave it in, because 1 to 2 you're just dead. So, and otherwise the 3 to 5 you just gain a bunch of insanity, and that sucks for like Harvester and things. You don't always want to be insane, especially 10. It's a lot to gain. If you're hunting like a lope or something, that could suck too. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or just like feet.
Yeah, I would play it where you removed it.
I mean, I'm sure that's what's intended. But if it's not, then who's making all these fancy daggers? By the way, it's not cursed, which is bizarre to me. I feel like it should definitely be cursed.
It's interesting. Next, let's talk about the beta one, shall we?
Galanthus bound his aching legs, bracing them for the burden. Better to move slowly than to feel nothing as the cold takes your body piece by piece. Heaving the hefty pelts close around his body, warmth crept back into his aching bones. He breathed to hide his shielding. He breathed into the hide, shielding his face, smelling monster's lingering stench mixed with his straining breath. So yes, Galanthus is a cool guy, and he has a cool coat.
Yes, warming pelt. How do you make the warming pelt?
The warming pelt is tabs. Am I right? The warming pelt is, I believe, 2 endeavors and 2 hide to craft.
Correct.
I remembered that right, and I did. It is armor for heavy. It's 1 chest armor. You require 3 fewer gear cards that grant armor points to be insulated. While you are insulated, reduce all damage you suffer by 1 to a minimum of 1. It's good. It is armor. So you cannot use a full set with this, but you could get clothed and sated.
Yes, normally it requires 6 insulated.
Yeah, no, 8.
Is it 8? I thought it was 6.
You're right. And so, yeah, you're right. 6. My bad. Normally you have to have 6 gear that gives you armor points, so this would just knock that down to 3.
Yeah,
so this
2.
and 2 other things.
Yeah, 2. You can get down to just 2.
It's fur, so you could do it with the Lion Slayer cape from Gigalion. That's a real cool combination.
That is a very cool combo because the other one's accessory. Even though they're both armor, the other one's accessory.
No, it's the cape is not armor. It is just an accessory.
But I meant they're both wearing at the chest.
Yes. So that would be 2 chest armor, plus then you're reducing all damage by 2 to a minimum of 1, which is great.
Yep.
Because those would stack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a real solid early game. Definitely early game. But if you just lost a couple of survivors and you have graves and you've got some hide, then I would make this Lantern Gear 1 or 2. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, this is very good. This is the kind of thing you put on the person, maybe even your scout right away before you get to the scout stuff.
Yeah, because is the scout does the ghillie suit give you armor?
Yeah, but you're not wearing. Yeah, it does, but it's not an accessory, so you wouldn't be able to wear it. But you just put this on your scout right away so he doesn't die. Because usually what you'll probably want to do, maybe you want to go right for that Grimjaw. Maybe you want to put Scav Kit on them. Maybe you can't hide them right away. So this is a nice thing to throw on your scout.
Fair enough.
This is even great if you're using are survivors anyway because you can get clothed and sated. So
Clothed and satiated.
yes, clothed and satiated.
I wouldn't even consider bringing this outside of like Lanterneers without clothed and sated, but that's just me being crazy and wanting set bonuses because that is OCD. Because it just feels bad not to have a set bonus, right?
I don't know. It doesn't feel as bad when you're reducing damage by 2.
It's true, but like I want clothed and sated at that point because then you get like 4 chest armor, or 3 rather. But yeah, no, it's just kind of neat. And again, you can use it with what's her face's frozen face dagger.
Yeah, I think this is really good. Shame that it's even.
Yeah.
I think this is a shame. This is a beta. This is good as is.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that means it goes to the beta pile.
It goes in the beta pile. But I think this is really neat. I like this one. Looking forward to maybe one day exploring the cold biome. Don't know when, if ever, but
2045.
Yeah. Speaking of New Year's, let's talk about Lunar Aya.
Aya creeps into another lantern year with a distracting explosion. She appears for the first new moon of the lantern year in a festive red color that has always brought her some kind of luck. It includes a tactical seed pattern and seed pattern gear to craft the perfect festive diversion. Yeah, it's just it's basically promo, but not actually. It's a negative pattern, actually.
Correct. Negative pattern 26. The Vivid BN POW, right? Is that how you say it? I don't know how you say this. I think that's how you say it, right?
I believe that would be Beyond Paul.
So this is a interesting little thing.
Yeah, we'll go with interesting.
Yeah, it requires node 3, but it's Phoenix specific, but it requires node 3 organs and small feathers, so you have to use your Phoenix, and then it's just perfect hide. I think the cost is actually pretty fair for what it is. So
Sure. And then, I mean, you're using Phoenix, which is not my favorite node 3, but it's not bad.
yeah, it's not bad. I mean, if it just keeps getting little interesting, cool stuff like this, it will keep being a little bit. It just makes it a little more worthwhile all the time.
Yeah.
This you also
Power
need
is a
heat
seed
and
pattern.
paint. Yeah.
Yes. It's a seed pattern, so you have to draw into it.
Yeah, which is fine because it's a Phoenix,
Oh.
so you have time. Usually, by the time you'd actually want to make this, I think you're probably going to have it.
True.
Because I think this is something that gets better later. I don't think you. It's interesting. If you want to do it right away, you could. But I think this gets better later. For sure. The later you hold off.
Especially for like Nemesis fights.
Yes, Nemesis is where you would take this because it's noisy and flammable. So you don't really want to be taking this out on hunts. It's also an item, so you could use it with Obsession.
Yeah, I guess you could. But yeah,
but this is
Vivid Beyond Paul, the seed item, flammable, noisy. At the start of your act, put a token on this card, and adjacent monsters gain a flinch token. Then, if this has 5+ tokens, archive it and suffer the deaf and dismembered severe injuries.
Yep.
Which is 2 bleed, which is a little bit rough.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. The reason, yeah, you put one token on it at the start of your act, and it doesn't go boom until you have 5 tokens. So you have 5 full rounds to mess around with this, and flinch tokens will help a lot in those 5 rounds.
Yeah, definitely will.
Especially, like, if you're doing Smog Singers or something, because it says put a token on this and adjacent monsters. So you could put, like...
Yeah, so I guess each of them...
Yeah, you could draw
they
3
each
flinch
get a
tokens
token.
on Smogs.
But it's communal at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So that would... What, 15 flinch tokens possible?
Oh yeah, this is insane. This is really good. That's why I said this is better the later you hold off on making it, because you don't
You
want.
know,
I don't think you'd want to hit the 5+ tokens. It's not
probably
bad
not.
if you do. Um, it's not terrible. It won't kill you. You're probably not going to die from 2 bleed, but you might.
I think if you're deaf twice, you have to retire.
Sure. If you were, that's what I was going to say. If you're gonna bring this out and you're doing it where you don't care, uh, you don't really want to archive this. So you'd rather not reach the 5 tokens. But if you don't care, I think it's fine either way. I think it's still good. Good enough. Flinch
Sure,
tokens
it's
are
like
really good.
I mean, really, you only ever need one perfect hide for the scrap kit anyway. So who cares?
Hmm.
All
I think
feathers. It's just I think
yeah,
the Sonic Tomahawks and the Helm for
yeah.
the
Your
Phoenix
willing
set.
your willingness to discard this will depend on how willing you're fighting Phoenix.
Yes. Oh, and you can only build one to be. You can only have one of the settlement at a time.
Yeah.
You can't
So
have like four of these. Imagine.
yeah, imagine that. But you can only build one at a time.
Imagine 60 flinch tokens on Smog Singers.
Yeah, yeah. So this is interesting. I think it's good. I think it's a very interesting little extra little thing you want to bring out. There's always like, I think it's fair to say that you can always find room for stuff like this.
Oh, totally. No, it's. I mean, especially if you're not playing with a campaign that like requires lanterns, for example. Well, I'm like that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have the gear space, I would always take this out.
Yeah,
Frankly.
I think that this is perfect little nice little flexible thing. Just try not to
Okay.
archive it.
So, yes. Unless you really like fighting Phoenix, I guess.
Yeah. Um. Next, let's talk about Xell, our indomitable survivor for Screaming Antelope.
As she ran after the monster, exerting her muscles beyond their limits, color bled from the scene. Black vibrating outlines of lean, trampling limbs and massive twisting hulks of sodden fur flashed back and forth like pictures blinking through the darkened terrain ahead. With a roar that drowned the monster's braying, she swung for her strangely still haunch, sinking her blade with a wet crunch. Suddenly the scene was animated again. The beast collapsed, tumbling and skidding, painting the ground red before finally stopping in a twisted heap of heaving gore. Color filled her world again, creeping in from the edges, intensifying. Suddenly everything was light, and nothing was visible in its shine. She listened closely, beyond her own ragged breath, for any signs of life. The indomitable monsters that stalk the darkness, unchallenged, tend to grow features not normally found in younger specimens of the species. Survivors brave and lucky enough to survive encounters with these monsters gain indomitable resources. These unusual components inspire new configurations of gear worthy of these hard-won treasures. She's the best mini ever.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's a really cool game mini. The monster trophy that she's wearing on her shoulder is
It's a
amazing.
gear from the chest.
Yeah, it's amazing. I wish that's actually what Monster Trophy looked like. Wish we would have gotten a mini with Monster Trophy in the chest.
Well, here she is, I guess.
Here she is, yeah. Sick. She's amazing looking. Really cool mini. So, you get the new Indomitable resource for the Lope. I'm not going to talk all about Indomitable resources, but you get them for killing level 3, and then you always draw from the deck. In this case, you're always going to get this, and in this case, whenever you kill a Lope now, you're just always going to get a extra bone. On top of the extra bone you're going to get from the horn.
Wait, it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's not perfect, which is fine. I mean,
Weird. That's really weird.
well, the Lope's known for giving out tons of resources, so I guess you don't want to make it even better by give out perfect bones all the time too.
But I think that's the only indomitable resource that's not perfect.
Yeah, maybe there'll be more for Lope, hopefully in chest. So then when you get the pattern, or you get the pattern when you get the resource, and then You use that resource to craft specifically this, and in addition to that, you use a perfect organ and 3 bone. So the cost is pretty low, very low. It's basically you're never gonna fail to make this because the lope is a loot pinata, so you're gonna probably get what you need. Definitely gonna get that
like,
3
what,
bone.
There's what, like 8 or 9 bones.
Yeah, you just need a perfect organ. You're definitely gonna make this. The second you kill the level 3 lope, you're gonna make this. So let's talk about the Stampede Glaive, which is awesome.
Oh, it's definitely the new best lope weapon.
Yeah, judging
Suck
that
on
there was
that,
only
English.
2. There's only 2.
There's 3. There's 3 other lope weapons. There's
There's the dagger.
the long gun spear. There's the dagger, the long gun spear, and the beast knuckles.
Yeah, but there's only 2 if you don't have the other white box. There's only the spear and the beast knuckle. So if you don't want to use guitars, then the lope doesn't have any weapons because it's not easy to make the lance. And this is just better than the lance because this is a spear and an axe. So
Correct.
this is just now the lope weapon. This will be the only weapon you ever make if you're making lope weapons.
Yeah, if you're using antelope, this is the antelope weapon.
Yeah. And it's a good one. This is a really good one. It's really interesting. This is reach 2. When you dash, this weapon gains +1 speed until the end of the showdown. Then you use tokens to track this. So great. It's a 7 accuracy, which is a little low, but you can always you're probably gonna hit because you're gonna be dashing quite a bit, especially if you're hunting a lope. Yeah. You'll be dashing quite a bit.
Or like anything, you just dash a ton after level 2 monsters in this game.
Sure. This can get out of hand if you specifically like the tactic of dash canceling.
Depending on who you are, it could be a good thing that it gets out of hand.
Yeah, otherwise this is a very versatile weapon.
Yeah.
So this is just interesting. It's very fun.
Yeah, it has 7 strength is not bad.
No.
Especially for like a high speed.
Yeah, especially for high speed spear. Like this is the best trapper weapon now probably because you could just dash this up to like 8 speed. If you wanted to.
And like more important than anything, it's fun. It's cool. It's a good weapon for a lope.
Yep.
Until it's pretty in line even with the Vandal weapons from
Screaming God. This is exactly what I was going to say. This feels like a Screaming God kind of like weapon because the Screaming Gods is if you've moved more than 6 spaces this turn.
But like obviously toned down because it's not a node 4.
Yes. So it's essentially like the same thing because you'd have to dash to move more than 6 spaces unless you've got like movement bonuses or like Harvestman or something. Harvester. Yeah, Harvestman? Yeah.
Harvest Man.
So, very interesting. I love flexible speed weapons. This one you can't down go. I like the cleave weapon keyword or weapon gear ability. I will hope to see more of that. I love cleave, the one that lets you gain slow and then +4 strength or something like that, and 2-handed.
Yep.
That's great.
I mean, this is already 2-handed, but...
Yeah, but I'm just talking modular speed weapons. I think are neat. So this one's really cool, especially with like the fact that you probably want to stop this at 4, so you can get a couple dashes in, get 3 rounds of dashing, which is probably good enough. I'd stop this at 4 because of the 7 accuracy. The fact that it's a spear, if you have spear specialization, then you can cancel the traps. So high speed's a little less on a spear. This has blue affinities, so it works with the, the charm?
The charm, yeah.
So if you really wanted to make the trapper build, this is the best way to go now.
Listen, it's a cool weapon with a cool mini, and I don't think you can really ask for more than that.
No, yeah, this is great. This mini's sick. She's indomitable,
Definitely
gives indomitable resources for Lope. This is great.
A worthy successor to Lenore, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Morg's probably up there too. Morg's a good one.
Right.
So
yeah, it's the thing that I bought.
Yes, all these
Silly
are
me,
really
how did I-
good. This was a very, very good month, in my opinion. The beta was great. The 2 white boxes were pretty above
Above
par.
average.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is really good. I think the power levels and all this stuff is like really nice, right where they should be. I think all this stuff was great. I think if you partook in this sale, it was a good one.
Yes. I'm gonna restock Xell too.
Yeah, Skrill's always in stock. They constantly restock her. She's best.
Yes, they should.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
anything else we got on the
no-
shop?
that was just it, and the best painter scale ever, and a pretty meh.
But did we happen to get a countdown?
Oh right. Yes, countdown to the new Millennium.
Yes.
Listen, Millennium Butcher's dropping on the 24th of February,
Yes.
or whatever it is.
29th. The last day of the month. Amazing.
So weird.
So Millennium is coming.
Yeah.
There's a Millennium countdown.
Bill, there's a Millennium countdown that gets $1,000 more expensive every day.
It is happening. We finally can say this and mean it, Jay. We've been saying this for months, but we can say it now. Next month,
Big Butcher in
We-
the house.
we will be talking about Millennium Butcher next month, Jay.
You will. I hope he gets a what's it called? Simultaneous release on the Sim.
He could. It's possible.
He might. Hey, listen, Xell is also dropping on the Sim next month.
Oh, is that
I'll be buying
confirmed? I don't
that.
know. I'm hoping.
Yeah. It was in the update that it said next month on the Sim, Xell is coming.
Awesome. Along with that gambler's chest.
So February's a good month to be a KDM fan.
Oh yes.
If you like to butcher.
Oh yeah. I think Millennium Butcher is going to be great. I've been waiting for Millennium Butcher for a long time, even before I knew it was going to get more than because Gen Con Poots had said that it was bigger than it's going to be more more meatier. I think is what he said.
It's definitely gonna be meatier than Giga Lion.
Yes.
There'll be a couple of.
But even before that, even before it was meatier than Giga Lion, if it would have been the same thing, I still wanted it.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Because like modern scale Aya in her garden dungeon armor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. And-
Twilight Knight lore from Forgot or whatever that.
And we've seen
name
some
is.
art. Well, I can't confirm it, but I think we've seen some art from Millennium.
Was from Taste.
Yes. Taste's avatar is a black and white sketch, black and white like the manga sketch of Aya. So it looks like it's going to pick up exactly after her comic.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
So
Yeah. Yep.
hopefully Taste still has that avatar so I can pull it and put it in this video.
It is still currently the avatar. Yes.
All right, so I will do that. So thank you for joining
that'll
me,
be
Jay.
So good.
Next
Thank
month,
you as always for having.
Millennium.
It's
Finally.
the new Millennium for Kingdom Death Monster has dawned.
I will see you next month. Goodbye,
Yes,
everyone.
we will. Bye.